Stitches of love we sew. In this online world we come to grow. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, where hearts align. Let's embrace the craft and let our souls shine.
Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. Thank you very much for joining me today. I am Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're working on playing with 3 different types of blocks. We've got a 4-patch, a half square triangle, and 2 snowball corners. And we're gonna flip and flop and see what we can come up with. Obviously, I've come up with this one here. The boys and I really like it, and yeah, we're gonna put it together as a small wall hanging, a table topper, or even just like as a mini quilt, right? Because it really is. You can build it out a couple more blocks, make it maybe 4x4 instead of 3x3, and you got yourself a nice lap quilt. If you take, because it is an alternating block, we got the one of the big ones of the snowball, and then the one of the 4-patch and the half square triangle combo. Depending on how you want to kind of play around and approach it, you can take 2 of the snowball blocks and put them together up here, and it kind of almost makes it like a little stop before it goes any further. So kind of, I don't know what to call this block, to tell you the truth. But we're just going to go and have some fun. So I'm going to show you how to make the 4-patch and then the half square triangles, and then just easy enough to put them together. They are all the same half square triangles. You could either flip or flop them, depending on what you like. I do like the little 4-patch in there. It just kind of adds a little fun and whimsical sort of effect, and it would be a great stash buster. All right, so let's put our pieces back here because we're kind of out of sequence right now. There we go. And we need to make a couple more. Sorry, up there and over there. So to put my 4 patches together, I took 2 strips of the width of fabric, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and I put them together, and then you get this nice little strips, which is easy enough to cut your 2 1/4 segments off. So these 4 patches in the end are going to be 4 inches, and your half square triangles are going to be 4 inches. So this whole section right here ends up being 7.5. Okay, so that would, your big main background piece right here, you would cut that as a 7.5-inch square, and then your little snowball pieces up here are 4-inch squares, just folded with the line on the diagonal, sewn, and then flipped. Okay, and that just lines up really nicely. There is another layout that I really liked here. I'll show you at the end. Okay, so here we have those 2 strips together, and I do have a new cutting mat here. This is a Martelli mat. I do like it. You can use both sides of it, but to make sure it is going to last just a wee bit longer, I'm using another little cut mat on top, just because when I have so many repetitive little cuts like this, I just don't really want to wear out the same lines that I have for years and years. Okay. So I'm lining this up on my mat and taking my ruler. You do need a couple of rulers with this little project. One about this size, a nice squaring up ruler, and a nice little marking tool of the 1/2 inch, or you can just use the edge and then just sew on either side of the line when it comes to the half square triangles. Okay, so we are here, we're at the 0, and we only want 2 1/4. I know it's unusual to have 2 1/4, but that's just the way this, when I tested the pattern, this is what I liked. Okay, oops, I get myself on the line. And of course, if you had it doubled up, that right there is 1 4-patch. You just have to take one side and flip it the next. I don't know where the orange thread came from. Somehow decided to join the party. We haven't been using orange all day. I don't know. And then just like that, you just sew right across, and you got yourself a little 4-patch. Okay, so I was marking, put at the 0. Over here to the 2 1/4, and there is our 2 little strips, and you just flip one, so you got white on one side, or the colors are flipped, and they're just the squares. Okay, so let's put those off to the side. That's what we need there. And then when it comes to the half square triangles, we have the 4.5 by 4.5. Okay, you can see right here on the ruler, we have, that's the 0 for 1 2 3 4.5. And then same with this piece right here, it's 4.5. So what I did is I'll take the marking ruler, the half square, I mean, yeah, for half square triangles. And you can take it and have that line right center from corner to corner. And I just hold it steady and then just mark with my pencil on either side. If you didn't have one of those rulers, that's not a deal breaker. You take your regular flat edge ruler, you line it up on the edge from corner to corner, and then you just draw a diagonal. Then you can go, if you want, 1/4 inch from there, either just sewing with your foot, if you have 1/4 seam allowance foot, or you can mark it on either side 1/4 inch from that center line, and then those are your stitch lines, and then that would be your cut line. Okay, and it's just the same as this one right here. Those are my stitch lines, and I'll just cut my line in between from that corner to corner with a ruler, just once it's all done. Okay, so we're going to take and put those two right sides together. One is a batik and one is a lovely little yellow, like a pinstripe sort of, or chevron, yeah, sorry, chevron of color there. Okay, and we're just going to sew here and sew here. Okay, I'm going to do that for 2 of them because we need 2 for each of these squares. Well, actually, we just need 1, but to finish, so we'll show. I'm just going to sew on those pencil lines. Okay, so let's put our 4 patch together and our half square triangle. So our 4 patch should come together just fine without any trimming whatsoever, as long as we use the 2 1/4 and a 2 1/4 strips, or you can cut your little squares at 2 1/4. This is, like I say, is a great way to use up scraps. This could be a leader ender project if you had those. And you could always use 4 patches. Of course, you're going to, however many you need, you want to make a really big project out of this, just do the math calculations of how many you're going to need for each section. Putting a 9 of these together, I think it comes out to 14 inches or something like that. No, that could be wrong. Okay, so that's that, and then we'll do this one here. All the cut pieces will be listed below. I don't want to say anything wrong or incorrect, so I'll just, whatever I can get out, I'll get out, but other than that, it'll all be listed below and what I used for what. This is free for you guys to use it. You will. I'd love to see if you come up with any more different ideas than what I've already come up with. Alright, now we're going to take those and trim them. Okay. These ones shouldn't have to be. Oh, let's wake up the yarn. Oops, forgot to do that. These should come out at 4 inches. So let's just lay this right here right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. There we go. The half square triangles, you will have to trim off the dog ears or the little tops there. But that's not too bad. Okay. Take it. Use our ruler and trim from corner to corner, and we'll push to the dark side of the fabric. Okay, so we'll lay the square or triangle down, and we're going to set the seam there, and then we'll push it this way, so that way this dark fabric rolls towards the top part there. Okay, and I just use them and slide in this little mat underneath to get me a little heat protection. Oops, didn't see that ruler there. Don't want to melt that. No, no. Oops, make sure we're going the right way. I really like all this bright, beautiful colors here. It's making me feel very springy. Okay, now we just want to take 2 of these so far, and we're going to make sure that they square up to the same as that. So really, we just need to trim off just a little bit to get those dog ears off. Okay, we'll take a little mat out. And this is where our little squaring up ruler comes in. So we can just lay it on the mat. Make sure our diagonal line is right where we want it to be, and we want to be on this 4 line, okay? But we want to make sure we're taking a little bit off on either side to make sure we're getting the dog ears. Okay. And if you had a rotary mat, that would be even better too. I do have the mechanism for this one. We just want to line that up on the ruler here where it says 4 and then 4, so we know we're having a nice square 4-inch half square triangle. Like I said, it should be just minimal on the trimmings, but it is important that you do so. Even just this little bit of stuff will throw off your quilt project in no time flat. Okay. Stick that right there. That went through there. Okay. So now to build out this little block. Take it. I like it with the white coming this way, like on the angle. And then we just put our little half square triangles like there. Make sure that these are both facing the same way, okay? So let's put this together. So that seam right there, and then that seam right there. And then we can open these up, and they are still attached, so we can just flip them and stitch them just like that, okay? If you set them up properly, you don't have to do any fuss or muss. Just flip them. Make sure you're flipping the seams so they're not all going the same way. Just give that a press, and we add it to our little 9 patch. But of course you can make as big as a section as you like, right? The blocks come out to be 7.5 each, so obviously 14 together would be 14. So maybe it wasn't 18, but we'll find out because now I can't remember. All right, so there's that there, and we'll just make sure we have our section right there, and then you can see how that comes alive. I really like that. It's beautiful. Okay. It makes a cute little mini project. You can even just do like 6 of them. Could be a lovely table mat, like a placemat. Oh, here I actually want to show you a couple of little flippy flops of it here. Okay, so like you could just play around. You could do it the other direction. Have flips. There's actually one, this kind of actually reminded me of a spool, so I ended up doing something very much like that, and I'll show you once we're done here so you can see it. Okay, so oops, here and here. Put us back in section. That's all right. There's so many different ideas. Learn your fabric. Well, when it comes to this block right here, that is just as simple as the other ones. You're going to take your background piece, and then you're going to mark on the back of your 4-inch squares. These are 4 inches. You're going to mark on the back of them. Just one little line. Okay, like that. And then one's going to go in one corner, and one's going to go in the other. And I like to err on the side of caution when it comes to doing snowballs to make sure that you have enough fabric when it comes up to the corner, it's not too short, is sew on the right side of the line. The line is right here from point to point. If you kind of sew just a thread width over on this side, then that way when this is flipped, if there's any extra, you can at least square it up. Okay? But if you go on this side of the line, it's going to end up being too short, and you're going to be upset with yourself. So if anything of the error, side of the error, caution of error, is so on that side of the line. Okay, so that one right there. to the outside. And I was hopping over a 1/2 inch and then taking another stitch down and using those half square triangles for something else. Okay. So this is how we would make those snowball corners. We're just going on just that side of the line, to the right side of the line. And flip it. And this is where you can come and you fold that up and you're like, okay, that's perfect. It fits that spot where I need it to. Good. Always double check before you come in and take that other half square triangle and use it for something else. I have a beautiful idea for a half square triangle jacket and some orphan blocks. If you're interested, just sub in to the channel and come follow along. It's going to be coming up this summer. We have lots of half square triangles because we do lots of projects around here, and there's lots of little bits left over. Waste not, want not. If you pay for the fabric, use as much as you can. And then when you're done, you give it away to somebody else. That's your extra half square triangle, which ends up being about 3 inches. So that is a great size to be doing something else with. I see a bag. I always see a bag. I love a bag. Okay, and it gets you some fun colors. Okay, and then we'll just press that out, and that ends up being our piece just like that. So first we'll set the seam, then we just press out. Needs to go back down here, and this is here, and then we'll push this over to the side. Finish off our first row. Make sure our edges are lined up the best we can. That's our first row. Now we're just going to take our second row. Just go a little bit closer here. Sometimes when I throw 9 patches together, I do sometimes get a uh-oh, where was I sort of situation. So I just try to like go row by row. Just finish it. And then that way I don't feel like I maybe made a mistake somewhere along the line. I'm trying to push my seams flat. Get some cute blocks together. If you're all having a good weekend and you had a good Easter weekend last weekend, make sure just erase. Yeah, we're good. Okay. It would be awesome if you could leave a comment below and get a chance to win one of these if you would like one. There'll be 2, this one and the other one. I'll show you. You get to pick. So once we have all those little strips, we got our little rows. We could just give them a little bit of some heat loving. Oops. Take a little bit more care on the ironing. Okay. Ironing takes time. It is essential though. Okay. Now we want to put those blocks together, or these rows together. Okay, and these little points here, where the 4 patch here line up, and the center of this little gondola, shuttle, I'm not sure. Whatever Pop calls it. And we'll just sew right along that seam. Just making sure my seams were going the opposite directions. Those are 2 rows together, and at this point you really can see like the little pattern come together. I think an overall large quilt would look really nice. That little kind of whimsical effect. Now this is made with 4 colors. We also have the batik, the yellow, the kind of minty green, and the white. You could do the background a different color. You could do the edges the same color as the 4 patch, and then just change it up a bit. As I said, I think this would be a really good scrap buster, especially if like the backgrounds were like a gray or a white on white, or like a creams or tans or something like that. It would make all those other colors that you put on your hash square triangles and your 4 patches like jump right out, full of color. I do use my walking foot a lot, pretty much with all my projects. I just really like it. Are you a walking foot person, or are you a regular foot? Okay, so there we go. Isn't that neat? You can even maybe put it on point. It's cute. It kind of reminds me of shuttles, or like I swear it looks like a gondola or something. Oh, I put one wrong. Uh-oh. This 4 patch down here. Whoops. Whoops. Oh well, that guy's going the wrong way. I meant to go the other way. Okay, anyways. Here's the other layout that I came out with that I really liked. And as you can tell, it kind of looks like a little bit like spools. I think it looks like a yellow spool there and a green spool. I think it kind of looks like it. Of course, you can flip and flop. I'll include a couple of pictures for Pop, so he can put them at the end of the video. And yeah, what do you guys think? And even that, like on point, is really kind of cool. Yeah. The kind of squares everywhere. And doing these like different colors. Yeah, you can have different colored spools and stuff. But I like this one too. This is actually one of my favorites. So I thank you very much for watching, liking, and subscribing. And like I said, don't forget to leave a comment. And we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Take care of you and each other. Okay.
Piece by piece, in the warmth of our quilts, our love will never cease. So let the colors dance in the patchwork sky, as we gather round, needles held high, with laughter and joy we create.